Hi, welcome to ADI Technical Training. I'm Matthew. Today I'm in our technical lab at our UK hub in Chadderton, Manchester. Okay, let's get started.
In this video, we're looking at access control. We're going to cover the basics. We're going to discuss what access control is, the technologies behind access control, how you implement them, and the devices we would use. So in its first instance, access control, it's been around as a profession for quite some time. People don't realize access control is the devices we use to control people getting in a certain area. Since Egyptian times, people being employed as a profession to construct devices to keep people out of areas. We can all look back and smile at films where you have people raiding arcs and what have you, and you have all these intricate devices to keep people out. That was access control. And locks, as a profession, it's been around for a very long time. Locks are still a very integral part of access control. Regardless of the technology of the reader that's used, you still have a locking device on the door. The locking device has evolved from what was a long time ago a stick with a stone in the end which would turn and activate a lot of levers, to the modern locks we have nowadays, which we would call Yale locks or UPVC door locks, composite door locks, and it's that small brass key with the cuts in it. That lock in itself, that Yale lock or mortise lock, it's very reliable, very easy to use, requires no prior training on how to use it, and it's a well proven secure technology. And as a locksmith, I can tell you, I've been to many houses where people still have the same lock on their front door that they've had for decades, going up to 70 or 80 years. It's a proven technology. The problem with it though is, and it can last for 75 years on somebody's front door because maybe they only use it once or twice a day, maybe once or twice a week if they're going through a different door of the house. But if it's in a commercial application, it probably wouldn't last more than 6 months. If more than 50 or 60 people are using that door every day, every hour of every day, that lock will not last. Not only will you suffer mechanical wear of the lock, it's also the keys. The keys are very good. However, if you copy a key from another copy, you make a slight imperfection. Then when you take a copy off that copy, you make another slight imperfection, and so on and so on and so on, till you get to the point where you just can't make another copy key. Thus, you get locked out. And that's the inherent problem with mechanical locks. That they're brilliant. However, you have issues with the credentials, the tokens, or the keys not lasting, or not being reliable. So then we evolved to EAS, Electronic Access Control. Electronic Access Control is the device we would use to tell that mechanical lock to open. We would use a lock release, an electronic release that opens that lock. It doesn't unlock the lock, it lets the latch spring open. Controlling a lock release can be done with many technologies, whether it's in its most basic form a keypad, whether it's some sort of card reader, or whether it's some sort of biometric reader that uses biometrics. Let's start with the most recognised form of access control, EAS access control, which would be a keypad. A keypad is very simple to use. At ADI Global, we do over 100 different keypads from different vendors. They're in different sizes. Some are backlit, some are vandal resistant, some are flush, some are surface. Some accept as little as 3 digits for the codes, some accept as a maximum number of 12 digits for the codes. Some of them will take the numbers where the numbers move, so they're not in the same location on the keypad for security reasons. Some have built-in spy shields. Some are internal, some are external. But when it comes down to it, they all do the same thing. You punch in a number, and it unlocks the door. Very simple to use. Moving on from that, you have the card reader. Whether it's a swipe card reader where you swipe a card through, which is a bit old tech nowadays, or whether it's a reader where you present your credential to the reader, your card to the reader, and it unlocks the door. The technology on that card has evolved. Um, when I first started doing this many years ago, those cards were magnetic. It was a Wiegand card, It'd be north and south, and some of them were made of metal, some were made of plastic. Nowadays, the cards are PVC composite, and they either hold a 125 frequency proximity token, or they have encrypted MyFair, DeskFire, EV1, EV2, EV3. We'll cover those technologies in further videos. Moving on from that, there's the biometric readers, and biometric readers, you know, it's not as James Bond-esque as people think it is nowadays. It's actually very popular because it's non-contact in some cases. A contact one would be a fingerprint reader, where you present your thumb or your finger to a reader. It either takes the geometry of a reader, or it could read under your epidermis and read your veins within your blood vessels. That's a very secure and easy to use technology, used mainly on commercial applications where people are trained on how to use it. Other than that, you've then got biometric readers which would read your retina. We have quite a couple of vendors actually who do readers which read the retinas of your eye. That's a little bit more secure, and a lot more training is required so people use it properly. And then finally, the one which doesn't take much training is facial recognition. Facial recognition is becoming the most popular form of biometrics because, as far as the end user is concerned, they just look at an LCD screen like a tablet. The device scans them and lets them in, and this is done in less than half a second. When we had a recent pandemic with the COVID pandemic, these facial terminals, they were a threefold device. First of all, they were a temperature screening device, so we used to screen your temperature. Were you within that safe range? They also gave you a prompt to wear a mask. So there's still that application, certain health applications where you still need that. And finally, the primary, I say finally, but its primary function was an access control device where you could look at it, it would recognize your face and let you through. The facial terminals, they can just read your face. Some of them can also read your fingerprint, some of them can also read cards, some of them also have a keypad in them. So they have a multiple authorized ways of letting you through the door.
Thanks very much for watching. All the products mentioned in this training video can be found on our website. Links are below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much.